I will restore elders unto them, and I will heal my people, saith Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai.
Biblical proportions. Countless locusts swarming into southern Israel and Gaza from neighboring Egypt. These insects can devastate agriculture. Farmers close to the Egyptian border say more than a third of their crops have been damaged.
The locust is here in great numbers, in the hundreds and the thousands. It's in the middle of the vegetables, on the parsley and the spinach.
The arrival of these unwelcome visitors comes 3 weeks before the Jewish Passover holiday that recounts the 10 biblical plagues, one of them locusts. But it's modern-day technology that's being used to get rid of them. Pesticides are being sprayed from the ground and from the skies. Before he takes off, this pilot of a crop dusting plane confidently predicts the locust will be destroyed.
As part of a project funded by the United Nations to protect Gaza's environment.
Conventional ways of dumping rubbish deep in the earth are wasteful. Some litter can be reused. It can be accessed by sorting through it to find the recyclable items. This process could be a benefit to local industries.
There are fears that the mountains of rubbish could prove a public health hazard.
In terms of public health, this is making us head towards an ecological catastrophe. Around 62 to 65% of rubbish is organic, which can be reused, like, for instance, in farming.
With Israel's blockade tightened in 2007 when Hamas came to power, restricting the transit of goods and people into and out of the territory, those in charge of the Green Push had to make the plant's equipment.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rucha HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom also to the up-and-coming elders and you brothers, mainly the elect of the nation of Israel. This is a clip sent to me, some form of article sent to me from a brother. Okay, will always send me clips. As you see, the intro says it all. The news clip, BBC News, pretty much says it all. Okay, so this is in wake of this coronavirus, COVID-19. Okay. And various other viruses. Okay, COVID-19 is not the only so-called virus, and this is why it's super inflated, to have an excuse to do what they do. But these viruses, are all, I believe, manufactured, and some of them just, mainly at the end of the day, sent by the Most High. Okay, mainly. At the end of the day, it's all the Most High show, okay? So it's just our job to bring these things out and to show that this locust infestation, these are just more plagues, and what does locust do? They eat a lot of the, the vegetation, okay? They're not an unclean so-called insect, animal. But they eat vegetation, okay? And once your vegetation is gone, and it's amazing where it's happening at, okay? Over in the Middle East. Okay, let's go to Exodus 10. Let's start at about 12. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Egypt." So when we do our Passovers and, we put those curses up, that's the Most High's hand being stretched, okay? "And eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail have left. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day," okay? "And all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over the land of Egypt and rested in all the coast of Egypt." Okay? And these are those signs again. You know, Egypt in the last few years has been on and off plaguing with locusts. Okay. And over there in the Middle East, it says, very, very grievous were they. Before them were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth. Okay. Talking about that, pretty much that area. Okay. So that the land was darkened. Okay. And they did eat every herb and of the land. Talking about the vegetation. And a lot of times when you have those herbs help neutralize the earth. I mean, help nutrition, give the earth nutrition. And when the earth loses nutrition, it can't grow any crops. And that's probably why, a good part of Egypt today is pretty much desolate. Okay. It says, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. Okay. And there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field, though all the land of Egypt. So this is definitely something when you consider in the wake of this thing with COVID-19. Okay, these viruses, and not just COVID-19. People die all the time of other pneumonial type diseases. Okay. Respiratory viruses, okay, which a lot of us has had in the past, some of us anyway. Okay, so this is just, even though they're inflating everything and they're making everything greater than what it is, that's still a pestilence. Okay, that's still a form of a plague. But let's go look up this word pestilence. When I went to the Blue Letter, it just said plague. So I went to the Old English and went to the a reliable source of this word, which means a disastrous evil or affliction. Okay. Evil means bad times, so a disastrous time of affliction. Okay, a calamity, a destructively numerous influx of multiplications of a noxious animal infestation. Okay, an epidemic disease caused a high rate of mortality. Well, the Lord said he was going to do all these things at the end of the day. Okay, and when these other viruses, the real ones starting to hit, it's probably going to be more contagious. Okay, you had the Black Plague, the bubonic plague. You had several plagues. You had smallpox. You had several polio, which was what they call that, paralyzing people. And we know the media, whenever they get hold of something, they amplify it. This is how they get business. It's all business. Okay. Okay, because the world today love fear mongering. Okay, that's why they watch Walking Dead. They watch all these shows because people are obsessed with death. Okay, and the media knows this. A cause or irritation, a sudden unwelcome outbreak. Okay, this is what you would be called a plague. Okay, so we've been having plagues for a while, believe it or not. This thing that they're talking about is nothing new. The flu season, it used to be a flu season. Now the damn flu season has become all year round. I never heard of anybody getting the flu in the summertime, but now that's happening in the summer, winter, spring, fall. And they're setting the stage for a lot of these viruses. That's why the weather's changing. In warmer environments, these pestilence, these viruses can breed. Okay, Luke 21:11, and great earthquakes shall be in the diverse places. With some of them, the media ain't recording those because it's not bringing enough money, enough attention. It says, and famines and pestilences. Okay, and that's the start of famine is those locusts. Okay, although they're growing foods and stuff like that now. And fearful sights and great signs shall be from heaven. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this short video out. I think the intro says it all. Okay, the other video dealing with the trash. Okay, which this is a worldwide situation, which is another plague which brings more diseases, more evil. Well, I'm not gonna say evil, but more forms of insects. Dirty insects, let me say that, and animals, unclean animals, rats and roaches and all kinds of mice, okay? This trash is bringing more of a plague, okay? The stink rising up from the earth. That's the beginning of it. Why? Because this man has done nothing right for the earth, okay? Everything he's done for the earth, he's turned upside down and he's screwed everything up, okay? Everything he's done, he's totally destroyed the earth. This is why, also he said, they were saying that they are spraying pesticides, okay? So what happens when you spray the pesticides? What is that going to do to the earth? Now you're poisoning the natural resources, okay? So that can't be good. See, when you're dealing with fruits, vegetables, okay, they have natural colloidal minerals of the earth. When you strip them, now the plant is growing thinking that without that natural enzymes, the other insects are thinking it's dead when it's really not. This is why they call us eating GMO death foods, man. Because it's all manufactured. We're not even eating right. So they're spraying those pesticides. What you think going to happen? Now you got to eat that? That corrupts the DNA of the foods, the natural resources. And you got to know something ain't right, Let's go to Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." Okay? So a lot of you prey, you sheeple, man, It's right in your face. You believe in everything the media tells you. You're single file walking in the line like in a grocery store. That's why they had those lanes set up. The cattle that's going down the lanes, getting their food, You people will stay in darkness, okay? Until the Lord has to put you back in the light. And pretty much the only way that's going to happen to a lot of you people, okay, is through destruction, nuclear destruction, missile food, okay? That's all I have on that. Shalom.